Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. This is really great. So my name is Linda Doering. I like being called Miss Linda. I'm almost 75 years old, not cool, but definitely very real. So I hope my realness does not get to be too much for you. Yes, it does get better. I grew up in Los Angeles, in Watts. Moved out in the 6th grade into the suburbs of Orange County, California. And I tell you, I preferred living in Watts. The kids were so stuck up. They made fun of everything about me except the air I breathed, probably because that was free. And it was rough. It was rough. So, you know, I was telling some of my friends here, you know, we are all in this together, figuring out relationships, what's the best thing to do. Unfortunately, our society, social media, they don't care about you. They don't care about your future. They don't care about your happiness. They just care about the money. That's all they care about. And they're very blunt about it. They say, yeah. And if you don't say what we agree, we cancel you out. Sounds like your friends in high school, right? We just cancel you out. So do I have permission to be real with you today? Yes. Good. I see many nodding heads. Wonderful, wonderful. No sugarcoating. Yes, sir.
Is there like a link I could send to anyone who wants to listen to this, like outside?
Yeah, we'll let you know when we post.
We're recording it, and then you can definitely. We want you to share it, and that brings up an interesting point, too. I did a copy of our basic items that we teach. So if you would like me to come to your school or people you know, please take one of these. I have my business card. And I lived in this area for a while. I love Pikes County, Pennsylvania. I lived just off of Cindy Court, Tall Mountain. Took 2 months to have my garbage removed. It was too slippery. But anyway, that's another story. I love the state. Lived in New Jersey. I've lived in 38 places I've moved, including 10 different countries. My first presentation, we used to be more heavily with the HIV and AIDS because that was the big thing that was going on. In 1993, I was teaching in the former Soviet Union. I was teaching to teachers, pedagogical seminar, and they all bum rushed me and said, "Can you come to our school?" And I said, "Sure." And they said, "Do we have to rent a big expensive car to pick you up?" I said, "You could send me a dog sled. I'm just not taking your buses anymore," because they didn't plow the roads. I'm carrying 40 pounds of equipment like this, you know. So, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. And they treated me like a rock star. They were just so excited to have this new information. And in my head, because I was a hippie back in the day, all the bad things that we talk about, basically I did, except I never got an STD, never had a child out of wedlock. So been there, done that, and I was thinking, but I could never teach this in America. They would laugh me out of town. And I found the opposite to be true. When I started speaking in Jersey City, New Jersey, it had the highest rate of HIV per capita in all of America. And I would teach in the schools, and I was a little scared because, you know, I was painfully aware I was very white. And I would have the young men in the back of the high school room, and they would stand up and say, "Yo, Miss Linda, you mean I don't have to have sex?" And I said, "No, sir, you don't have to have sex." And you know what they would say after, because I usually went to see them 10 different sessions. They would say, "Yo, Miss Linda, when you coming back? When you coming back?" And it was just like we were throwing them a lifeline. Because like you said, you wanted to be able to win debates. I will personally mentor you if you like. You can win every debate. I have never had a teacher, and I always taught in biology and health classes, I've never had one teacher in any school say, "Miss Linda, this is not true." Never. In fact, I've had school districts call me in to do teaching seminars during their break and everything. So it's very interesting because even the teachers said, "Yo, I'm not going to go out and have sex tonight." I go, very smart person. So let me find, where's my clicker? So to get on with it, we were born with 6 gifts. 6 gifts that if somebody had $1 million and they did not have one of these gifts, they would give you $1 million straight up for one of these gifts. What do you think? What's one gift you think you were born with that somebody would give you $1 million if they didn't have it? What do you think it is? Your good looks? Well, let's take a look. How many of you would love to win the lottery? How many of you do the scratch-offs, the numbers and everything? None of you? Got to be in it to win it. Yeah. I never even get one number right. I don't know what it is. Luckily, I don't spend a lot of money at it. But $1 million, you know, basically, we want to show you, you will feel like a millionaire when you get done today and tomorrow, you know. So people win the lottery. You know, we got two different kinds of people, and I remember this very clearly. This guy, he was the first one to win $20 million. This was in the 80s. And he was late to pick up the check, and they had the cameras there and everything. Where is this guy? He was late for his own $20 million check, because why? He was at the Cadillac place. He wanted a canary yellow Cadillac. Guess what? In 5 years, he was more broke than when he had won the $20. So we have different people have different things with their money. If you had $1 million today, $1 million cash after taxes, what would you do with your $1 million?
Geez, stupid. How do I get down to that level?
Easy, just reflect a few years ago.
I buy a mansion.
A mansion.
There you go.
There you go. Maybe a yacht. Buy your own circus. Buy up the block. I remember one guy in the Bronx, he says, I'm going to pay everybody's rent. What would you do with $1 million?
Start a business somehow.
Start a business.
Hey.
Great idea. I used to run a business. Not so easy, but it's great. What would you do with your $1 million, sir?
Probably buy a lot of gold.
Buy a lot of gold. Me too. Gold, silver, great. What would you do with your $1 million, sir?
I will buy land.
Wonderful. Land is a great investment. It's amazing. So you see, we have two different kinds of people usually. We have the ones that let the money slip through their fingers as quickly as they got it. Show me the money. Dollar bill. And then we have our investors. People who want to invest in something that's going to grow in the future. So we always want to think, what kind of person, you know, when you really get faced with those decisions, you know, what kind of person are you going to be? So here's something that somebody would give you $1 million. Health. In America, health rhymes with wealth for a very good reason. If you have your health, you have a lot going for you. You have a lot going for you. How about our mind? You know, you never really appreciate your mind until you don't have one anymore. Like, you know, Alzheimer's, it's a very serious disease. A friend of ours just passed away yesterday, finally, and he didn't know who he was. He was a brilliant guy, and it was sad. It was sad, you know, to see him where he didn't know his name. Every day his wife had to tell him that she was his wife, you know, and it was really kind of sad. So it's even our mind, you know, the ability to think, the ability to create things, the ability to see our future and where we want to go, you know, to have friends, interactions, all of that is with our mind. Also our heart, our ability to give love, to feel love. Do any of you have a kitty cat? Anybody has a cat? Nobody has a cat. A bunch of haters here. Anybody have a dog? Yes. Wonderful. How about, what kind of dog do you have, sir? Do you know what kind? What kind of dog do you have? Oh, such a nice dog. And it's very, very happy to see you, and it's going to jump up and down on you. But what if you go, would you go someplace else? I'm not feeling you today, you know? And the dog is so happy, but you can't feel its love. It's sad, you know? So our heart, our ability to feel something, you know, when you have children in the future, won't you want to be able to feel that parental heart and to respond to their love? You know, it's an amazing thing. And some people, they have become heartless. It's kind of sad. So we want to protect our heart. That brings me up to something else. With our program, we value you. We want you to be able to value and protect your own future. because a lot is going to be thrown at you in life. And as we know, a lot of our friends are good at lying and sneaking around, right? If we have to lie and sneak around and deceive our parents, what does that tell us about that activity or behavior we want to do? Maybe it's not healthy, right? Maybe it's not good for our future. So we want to have willpower. Can anybody tell me what willpower is? That's not such an easy concept. You know, you can be the most creative genius on the face of this earth and have millions of dollars to implement, to create, to make your ideas real. But if you don't have the willpower, the desire to put that into action, what's the use? I taught drug addicts for 2 years, 758 men in Secaucus, New Jersey, over a 2.5-year period of time. And they say, yo, Miss Linda, you don't understand. When I'm high, I'm so motivated. I'm so motivated. So I asked the room, I had about 38 men, average age was 25 to 48. What have you ever accomplished in your life? Just tell me one thing, and jail does not count. Not one hand could go up. Not one hand could go up. They had ideas, they were motivated, they couldn't implement it because of what the drugs had done to their brain. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., incredible, I wish he was alive today, said that he hoped someday his children could be raised where people were not judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. The content of their character. You know, so our conscience, our conscience is what? It's like, the cartoons you used to watch, and you'd see the little devil on the kid's shoulder and then the angels over here, and the angel saying, get in, if you do this, you're going to be in trouble. And the little devil says what? Do it! So the more you listen to your good conscience that tells you consequences of your behavior, the better decisions you will make in the future. The more you mess up and just go what your friends say, or you just do what you feel is good in the moment, you're training your brain to make unhealthy decisions in the future. That's why I have 3 daughters, okay? They're just normal kids. And I try to always put our relationship was more important than what I was trying to teach them. Well, my middle daughter was a middle daughter. 12 years old, she says, I was dropping her off at school, right? 12 years old. Mommy, this house is like a prison. I might as well be in jail. I says, oh, baby girl, why? What's up? She says, all my friends are dating but me. I said, okay, this sounds like a teachable moment to me. And this was in the early 90s, so you know how bad it is now. So that night I cuddled up with her and I says, baby, has your mama ever lied to you? She had to think a minute. She said, no, Mom, you never lied to me. Have I ever told you something that you really shouldn't do that messed up your future, or something you should do that messed up your... No, Mom, you never did. Let's make a deal. Honey, you're 12 years old. Just do as I say, follow my rules until you're 18. 6 more years, just till you're 18. And then if you say, Mom, you're full of it, I don't agree with you, you can do what you want. You got to leave the house. You can't live here anymore, but you can do what you want. She said, oh, just till I'm 18? I said, yeah, just till 18. Well, she ended up living with me till she's 25, till she got married. And she says, Mom, I'm going to be a more strict mother than you. And I says, my poor grandchildren. She's great. She's a teacher. She's a math teacher, highly skilled. She's amazing. She's pregnant with her second daughter. April 22nd, she's going to have another baby girl. And she makes the prettiest babies, I'm telling you. She has a great husband. He waited for her. He waited. He's from Ghana. He's so black he has to smile at night so I can find him. But he is just... Nobody could love my daughter the way he loves my daughter, It's amazing. So she is a very happy... Now she can appreciate the love she receives, So our conscience guides us. What's this, a sunflower? I love gardening, right? Is this a sunflower? Or maybe it's a Van Gogh, a Rembrandt. What is this? That's right, it's an egg, that's right, but not what your mama cooked you for Sunday morning, right? It's an egg, it's a human egg, a female egg, and what's surrounding her are sperm. Now, I know that all of you have a basic concept of procreation, how humans reproduce. So I want to ask you a math question. How many sperm are released when a man ejaculates? When sperm comes out, when he's having sexual intercourse with his wife, how many sperm comes out? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm sure that's going to be one of my questions. 300 million. 300 million little soldiers. Whee! I'm going to find that egg. Do you know if a sperm, well, I love factoids. If a sperm was the size of a VW car, I'd be doing 75 miles an hour looking for that egg. They have like radar. It's just amazing. So, back in the day, until recently actually, we thought that the sperm had an enzyme like TNT on top of its head, and it would just break through the egg and then fertilize it, right? Well, what we have found out just recently, actually it's the egg that chooses the sperm.
Wow.
Is that amazing? So when just Mr. Right comes knocking on the door, I brought flowers. She opens up, and it looks like she's embracing that one sperm, and within seconds, the two cells become one. And she does something to that door nobody else can enter. Eggs are completely monogamous. Once they hook up and become one, they never mess around, never mess around. So it's amazing. So fusion of chromosomes. The one on the, let's see, I used to have a thing here. Oh, goody, I still have it. See, this is the egg, that's the sperm. Hold this. So how many chromosomes does an egg cell have? 23. So the egg has 23 chromosomes. The sperm has how many chromosomes? 23. So 23 plus 23 equals what? You. You. It's amazing, right? So this gets a little scientific, but it's so much fun. So these are the chromosomes. An egg is only an X chromosome. Females, raise your hand. If you're female, raise your hand. If you're not sure, that's okay. So each of you have two X chromosomes, XX. That makes you a female. The male, however, it could either have a Y chromosome or an X chromosome. Males, raise your hand. Great. So you're an XY, right? So is that a girl or a boy? Boy. Is this a boy or girl? Girl, because XXXY. It's just fascinating. It's fascinating. Oh, I love this picture. So this says XY. Is that a boy or girl? It's hard to tell, right? Is that a boy or girl? Boy. Boy, very good. Is that a boy or girl? XY. Is this a boy or girl? Looks like my little daughter. What's this? She doesn't know. She didn't do the gender reveal yet, right? She doesn't know. So you are 1 in 300 million. It's amazing. So just as a brief rundown, there's the ovaries. How many eggs does a woman release certain times of the month? She's fertile, just a few days a month. How many eggs does she release? 1. Just 1. It's amazing. And yet, if that one of the 300 million sperm gets to her, then she's pregnant. So then the egg and zygote goes up here in the fallopian tube, it implants itself in the uterus, that's here, and that's made to grow and expand with the growth of the baby. It's just amazing, right? It's just amazing. So now the problem, is, it's amazing how all of this flows. and then the baby grows and gets all of its nourishment from the mother's uterus. It's just amazing. So we're going to watch a video that was made by an associate professor of medicine at Yale University. And they put tiny cameras inside so you can actually see when the egg and the sperm unite, and you'll see what happens when it starts to grow and what the baby actually looks like and how quickly the heart begins to beat. It doesn't even look like a baby yet, but the heart is beating. It's just amazing. So I think somebody's going to start the video. You could go ahead and start. There was music with that. Oh, there it is. There they are. They're in a big race. They're saying, I've got big muscles. I have flowers. Now she's inseminated. The egg and the sperm became one. 24 hours later, it starts to divide. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? You don't even know you're pregnant yet. It's already dividing. The egg yolk is feeding the baby. Look at the heart, it's beating. It's amazing. 25 days old. You know, we know it's a mammal because of the vertebrae. You can see kind of the hands and the feet. Beginning of the primitive vertebrae, 36 days. The organ's already growing. This will be the brain. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. This is when most of the growth occurs. If the baby was to continue growing at this speed, it would weigh 1.5 tons when it got born. Ouch. Look at all the veins, circulatory system. How does this happen? It's just amazing. And the heart is beating twice as fast as the mother's. That's how they know when they're listening. Oh, looks like Pokemon. We found Pokemon. Look at the eyes. No eyelids, but he's got eyes. Nose and fingers. Count them. Look at the brain, so big. In an animal, it's very small. We're very different. When the baby's always moving, it's to grow the muscles and the bone structure. That's how the baby gets fed. Whether you have an innie or an outie, it's through the belly button. "12 weeks. Before this, you can't tell a boy or girl, but then after 12 weeks, you know, it just grows a little bit, then it's a penis, then you know it's a boy. 8 months old. It's chillin', wish it had a video game, but you know. If you play music, they can hear the music. They can hear you speaking. So now during their birth, the mother's feeling contractions, and that's the pelvis. The baby is trying to get through, and the mother pushes. Best thing is if the mother gives birth standing up. You can use gravity, but some babies are born underwater. They naturally hold their breath underwater. It's amazing. Not for a long time, but they do. Oh, look, the head is coming out. The head is coming out. Whee! There's a real baby. Come on, baby, you could do it. You could do it. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yay, baby. Let's give baby a great big hand. So That's basically it for part one. Give Dr. Panzer another big round of applause here.
All right, thank you, Linda. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Very amazing.